Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot back at you again with another video. I would like to thank each and every one of you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and donating to my channel. I really do appreciate all the love and all the support. And thank you for those of you who've been booking readings with me. It is truly appreciated, okay? So as you guys can tell by the title of this video is going to be about what comes to mind when people mention your name. So pile number one, you're going to be the red jasper crystal. Pile number two, you're going to be the tree agate crystal. And pile number three, you're going to be the amethyst crystal. So again, pile number one, red jasper crystal. Pile number two, tree agate crystal. And pile number three, amethyst crystal. So pause this video if you must and meditate on the card or the crystal that you feel most drawn to. You'll be able to find your timestamps in the description box below, and I'll see you guys at your pile. Hi pile one, welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot back at you again with another video. So my pile number one, you picked the red jasper crystal, and this is going to be your reading, okay? So if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back. And if you are a newbie, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way I like to do this is like to smudge the cards first before we get started, so we don't pick up the energy of previous pile or previous readings, okay? So my pile number one, what comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind? We have the Two of Cups. It could be your relationship, how you are in a loving relationship, or that you are the ideal partner. You could have been the one that got away for a lot of people from the past, or a missed opportunity. So pile number one, what comes to mind when people mention your name? We have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is all about planning, taking action, okay, and starting to implement something in your life. So what comes to mind when people mention your name is that you are somebody who is action oriented. You don't procrastinate. You make plans and then you proceed. You execute. You are visionary. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Wow, we have 222, the number of partnership, the number of balance, equilibrium. That's what I heard. Oh, what comes to mind when people mention your name is that you have a lot on your plate. You're juggling a lot of responsibilities. You have a lot of activities that you're undertaking at the moment. You may have also multiple skills and talents. Yeah, we have the Death card, Scorpio energy. What comes to mind when people mention your name is that you are extremely magnetic. You're powerful. I also heard seductive, very seductive, I heard. Yeah. Appealing to the eyes with the Death card, resilient. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Wow, we have Five of Wands, competition, my pile number one. So there could be a lot of people that see you as competition, or what comes to mind when people mention your name is that there could be a lot of competition for you as well with the Two of Cups, because I'm getting like you are desirable. You're highly sought after with the Two of Cups. Like I said earlier, you're the one that got away. There's a lot of people that regret losing you, regret not investing in you, regretting not making an effort, because now you're definitely the one that got away. Yeah, we have the Wheel of Fortune. What comes to mind when people mention your name is that you're someone who brings in a lot of luck, or that you're very lucky. Things always work out for you. There's some people that could be envious of your manifestation power. You could have Sagittarius in your chart because this is Jupiter energy. So you may be like a visionary, because I did say that with the Two of Wands, and you're able, because you are a visionary, you're able to envision things that have yet to be seen by others as of yet. You're able to manifest this into existence, and some people can be jealous of you for that. And that's what comes to mind when people mention your name, that you're very lucky, you're extremely abundant. Okay, what comes to mind when people mention your name? We have the Queen of Swords. Okay, so that you're very intelligent, you could be stoic, cutthroat, no nonsense, no BS energy. You tell it like it is. Some people may, what comes to mind when people mention your name is that you could be a bitch or an a-hole. Okay, with the Queen of Swords, whether you are a woman or a man, this is what comes to mind when people mention your name. But I feel like it's because these people may have tried to play games with you, or like insult your intelligence, and you had to set them straight. Okay, what comes to mind when people mention your name, my pal number one? What comes to mind? What comes to mind when people mention your name? Wow, we have the Ace of Pentacles. That you are financially stable, that you're abundant, or you have this power of creating things out of thin air. You have the maddest touch, I'm getting, with the Ace of Pentacles. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, you are definitely a go-getter. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Wow, we have the Tower. Like, you're unpredictable. With the Tower energy, you shock people. You're always up because you're transforming all the time with the Death card. So you're unpredictable. People cannot pinpoint what your next move is going to be, and it makes them kind of shook. I'm getting, for some people, they don't like that. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind? Wow, Three of Swords. You're a heartbreaker, my pal number one. Yeah, that's what comes to mind. Like, maybe you've broken someone's heart with the harsh truth. I feel like if you give somebody the harsh truth, it wasn't like you weren't trying to hurt this person's feelings, but you had to tell them like it is, because they were like in denial or something. With the Three of Swords, and some people say that you're a heartbreaker. Yeah, Six of Wands, that you're victorious. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Some people, when they mention your name, they say that you're a show off with the Six of Wands, because you get a lot of attention, you're successful, you get public accolades. Okay, there is something very bright about you with the Six of Wands, where people just celebrate you, people look up to you, people are always bringing up your name in positive regards. And maybe some people, they, like I said, jealousy. With the Five of Wands, envy. Wow, guys, Two of Cups again. Something to do with your relationship, your partnerships. It's like you're the one that people always remember. Like, there is an there is an energy before and after you. Before you, there is an energy, and after you, there's an energy. It's like the energy before is like bland. I heard lame, guys. That's what I heard. Just bland. Like, there is no substance. There is no je ne sais quoi. Like, it's bland, okay? Like, you know, plain white rice with no salt. This is what I heard, guys. So, but after you, it's like, you know, when that's where you add the flavor to the rice, you know, or you make it like, you know, bean sauce or something like that, okay? Like, just, I know I'm talking about food right now, because that's what this is the analogy that the universe is giving me, like, you know, the angels are giving me. But it's like, you know, plain white rice, it's not that it's bad, but it's just plain. Like, you need to add some ingredients, you know, some little seasoning, you know, to the rice, or, you know, just add something else to give the rice flavor. So this is what I'm getting here. After you, that's when the flavor comes. And then once the person gets the flavor, they can't go back to what they used to before. So it's like with the Two of Cups, that's what I'm getting, like the one that got away. And we have quadruple two. Oh my gosh, Empress. And it makes sense. That's always getting that, because you're coming up as the Empress. Whether you are a woman or a man, you have Empress energy. You're very powerful, you're beautiful, and that's what comes to mind when people mention your name, how beautiful you have gotten. or you just keep getting better like fine wine. You're aging like fine wine, like whatever your age, like however old you are right now. It doesn't matter if you're like in your late 20s, late 30s, late 40s, late 50s. You're aging like fine wine, and people just can't believe it. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, like how beautiful or how handsome pile number 2. Wow, pile number 2, my gosh, it's pile number 1. I'm talking about pile number 2, so maybe there's a message for you that's not even there yet because I haven't started pile number 2. But there could be like an energy where people are always saying like, oh my gosh, like pile number 1 is so handsome for his age. Like, I can't believe he still looks good, or I can't believe she still looks good after all these years. She still looks like, you know, back in the days, like she still got it, or he still got it. That's what people say that's what comes to mind when people mention your name, like, oh my gosh, like how handsome or beautiful you still look. With the Empress energy, like you haven't aged a bit. Yeah, Page of Cups. Wow. What comes to mind when people mention your name is that you're somebody who is very giving, forgiving. With the Page of Cups, imaginative as well. But we have the Eight of Wands, adventurous, a go-getter, because the Eight of Wands is all about taking action, being putting yourself out there, going on an adventure. Wow. Three of Wands. Yeah, action oriented. Three of Wands is like implementing the vision that you have in Two of Wands. So we have Two of Wands, now we have Three of Wands. So this is definitely telling me that you are somebody who takes action, who is goal oriented. You're not just talking the talk, you actually walk the walk. And that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, you're definitely somebody who is, when you say you're going to do something, you actually do it. You don't just, you know, talk a good game and that's it. We have the Eight of Cups. Okay, some people, when it comes to you, when they mention your name, is that they talk about how you walked away from them, how you broke their heart, you left in the middle of the night. Not literally, but it's just like you just left without any notice, without a word, just quietly exited the person's life. What comes to mind when people mention your name with the Ace of Wands being here is that you are very sensual, you're passionate. Okay, there's like this magnetic energy. I keep saying that, magnetic, because we also have the Death card, which is Scorpio's energy. But we also, Ace of Wands is the fire, passion, okay? And this is sensuality as well. So that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. They miss your warmth. Like, you were a very warmth person, like warm person, very loving, nurturing person with the Ace of Wands. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? Wow, Six of Wands again, guys. Yeah, like how successful you are. It could also be like popularity, because the Six of Wands is like public recognition, accolades, like people celebrating you, looking up to you. This is what I'm getting here with the Six of Wands coming out twice. So, but there's also that energy of like wanting attention. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, is like maybe you want attention or you're an attention seeker. With the Six of Wands being here twice, you see, they don't want me to talk. With the Six of Wands being here twice, that's what I'm getting here. We have Cancer, immerse. So what comes to mind when people mention your name is that you're extremely deep. Your feelings, your emotions run deep with the Cancer energy. We have dignified, strength, Leo energy, okay? You're dignified, you're sitting on your throne. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. But yeah, some people, they say that you're sitting on your high horse, because if you look at this card, it's like the throne is like kind of like in the clouds. So some people, when they mention your name, is that you're show off, and that's why I'm getting like with the Six of Wands. They say that about you. That's what comes to mind when they mention your name, because they don't like the way that you're shining. Okay, like if you're meant to shine, you're gonna shine. Like regardless if you want to stay in the background, you're gonna shine because it's within you. It's not something on you. Okay. And that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. And that's why they're jealous of you with the Five of Wands. They want to compete. They want to be better than you, but they can't, because they cannot compete with something that they don't have. And you can't compete where you don't compare. So it's too bad. We have Ascendant, Entrance. So what comes to mind when people mention your name is that you are the one who is like breaking generational curses. That could be like family members saying that about you when people like you bring you up or ask, oh, how is pal number one doing? You know, maybe like a sibling or a cousin or something like that, or like an auntie or an uncle or something like that. And that's what I'm getting here. They don't necessarily say that you're the one breaking generational curses, but the way that they talk about you is that you are like moving and like doing things differently than what the family would do. Okay, so let's say for instance your family has the tendency, like, you know, the women in your family have the tendency to be in an abusive relationship. You decide not to stay in an abusive relationship and then move on from it and then go somewhere else where you are celebrated. Maybe the women in your family, they have the tendency of like maybe just not going to school and, you know, or not getting an education and just like getting pregnant and being married very young, where now because they got pregnant and married very young, it's kind of like difficult for them to be independent from their husband because now they have to depend on him. So it's okay if your husband takes good care of you, but I feel like the generational curse here is that they could be in like toxic relationship or one-sided relationship where the husband is like controlling, financially abusive or something like that. So that could be one thing. And then for the men here, it could be like you're different from your family because you're not, you know, going out there having a bunch of kids with a bunch of women. You're not doing that. You may not even have any kids, or you may not even like be doing drugs, okay, hardcore drugs, okay. You're not doing any of that. You're not getting arrested. You're not doing anything illegal. There could be like, you know, that type of like pattern in your family that you are breaking. So this is what I'm getting here. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Yeah, we have Aries, act. You're action oriented. You're driven. This is like the Emperor energy. This is what I'm getting here, and that's what comes to mind when people mention your name, that you are an action-oriented individual. And that's what I've been saying the whole reading. Like, you take action. You don't just talk the talk, you actually act, and you set things in motion for yourself. And that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, they know that they have to put some sort of respect on it, because it's like you're doing things differently, you're walking to the beat of your own drums, and you're the one that got away. Okay, a lot of people regret losing you or losing access to you. Okay, so that's all I have for you, my pal number one. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you in my next video, pal number one. Bye. Hi pal 2, welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot back at you again with another video. So my pal number 2, you picked a tree agate crystal, and this is going to be your reading, okay? So if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back. And if you are a newbie, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way I like to do this is like to smudge the cards first before we get started, so we don't pick up the energy of previous pal or previous readings, okay? So my pal number 2, what comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people mention your name? We have 5 of Wands. Okay, they're choosing violence. They see you as competition. I also heard cocky. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, like you're cocky. You're overdoing it because you're confident. Because 5 of Wands also represent confidence, ability to overcome obstacles, standing your ground. What comes to mind when people mention, wow, we have the 5 of Cups. Ooh, somebody's disappointed in you. They're disappointed in how, like, maybe your connection turned out. Oh my gosh, 3 of Swords. What the hell is going on? Somebody's hijacking your reading, my pal number 2. What comes to mind when people mention your name is that you are a heartbreaker. Or that makes sense, because the 5 of Wands could also represent like people competing for you. There could be a lot of competition for your attention. and that you're a heartbreaker. Yeah, like, oh my gosh. Eight of Cups, what's going on? Somebody's in their feelings, my pile number 2. When they mention your name, this person's in their feelings. Oh my God. You broke somebody's heart, my pile number 2. Somebody's upset when they mention your name, like a specific person. It's not like multiple people. It's like one person that you walked away from is like hijacking your reading. It's like, I feel like when people mention your name, it's like this person goes off on them or goes off on, like, you know, like just talking about you, saying how you're a horrible person with the 3 of Swords, like you broke their heart, 5 of Cups, you walked away, you left them high and dry. This is what I'm getting here. This is somebody that you were in a relationship with the Ace of Cups. Yeah, like you're overly confident with the Ace of Cups. Like your self-esteem is very high. And it's like this person wanted you to have low self-esteem. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, goodbye. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, we have the 10 of Wands. Like, you're definitely a challenge. It's challenging to be with you. You're not easy to please or something like that. I feel like it's because you have high standard for yourself, and there's nothing wrong with having high standards. It's like, why would you want to tolerate less than you believe that you deserve? And it's like, you see how I can't even speak because this person doesn't want me to talk. Like, they don't want to, this person doesn't want to admit the truth to themselves that they were not measuring up to your standards, and this is the reason why you had to let them go. And that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, you're quick on your feet, or you're quick to cut them off with the page, the Knight of Swords. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, you don't play those games. 3 of Swords is also rejection, so that could be another thing. Like, that's what this person's saying, like you're horrible for rejecting them because they're in their feelings, they're hurt, they don't want to admit the fact that you don't even want to be with them, or that you don't feel like they are worth it to you. Yeah, we have the Fool. Like, you walk to the beat of your own drums. Like, you don't follow the norm. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Yeah, like you walk to the beat of your own drums. You make decisions in a whim. With the Fool card, what comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, you're always on the go with the 8 of Wands. You're taking action. Like, yeah, you definitely walk to the beat of your own drums. Like, you don't let people stop you or make you feel bad or make you feel guilty for making choices that are best for you. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yeah, that it's a missed opportunity with you, 4 Cups. Yeah, that's why I was getting, like, this person's trying to, like, they're trying to paint you out to be the villain because you decided not to deal with their nonsense. And it's like, because you decided not to deal with this person's nonsense, they're trying to make it seem like something is wrong with you, or like you're foolish, or, you know, you're impulsive, but you're not. It's like, you're very, you know what you're doing, okay? You know where you want to be in life. You know who you want around you, and this person they didn't cut it for you. It's like, I feel like this person was playing a lot of mind games. They were trying to get what they wanted from you and then not give you, like, they were trying to get what they wanted from you at the bare minimum. Like, they were trying to put the bare minimum effort in this connection to get what they wanted from you. So this is what I'm getting here. And this person is having a hard time coping with the fact that you're not going back and forth with them. This is somebody who could be very combative. Okay, like they like to have, it's like their way or the highway. And if you were to basically put your foot down, you're the villain because they're not getting what they want. Okay, so this person, like I said, they're hijacking your reading because I feel like this is the person that talks the most about you. I feel like most people, when they mention your name, is that they have something positive to say, or they just don't have any comments because they don't know you that well to even have an opinion of you. But this person particularly that's coming up in your reading that keeps running their mouth, they're upset with you. They feel like it's a missed opportunity, or you missed your opportunity. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, the people that have nothing negative to say about you. They say that you are extremely independent, okay, that you're self-sufficient, that you are wifey or husband material. With the Queen of Pentacles, you're dependable. We have the Knight of Pentacles. You're extremely cautious. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, you're overly cautious. Okay, that's what I'm getting here. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like you're not, yeah, 7 of Wands, defensive. Didn't I say? Like you may have blocked this person. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like you have healthy boundaries. Like you set your boundaries and then you don't budge. If somebody doesn't want to respect your boundaries, then it's like you're not going to deal with this person. You're just going to move on with your life. You're just going to cut them off. This is what I'm getting here with the 7 of Wands. Like you're not going to deal with this person's BS. Okay, this is what I'm getting here with the 7 of Wands. And it's people from your past. Yeah, this is definitely somebody from your past saying that. That is like, you know, always. And I feel like, you know what I'm also getting from this person, this energy, is that they always bring up your name though. It's not like other people start talking about you and then this person just chime in. It's like whenever there is like an opening to talk, they want to bring you up. And it's not like people are asking about you. They're the one who brings up their 2 cents. It's like because they're still hurt about the fact that you cut them off. What comes to mind when people mention your name? What comes to mind when people... Temperance. Yeah, Sagittarius energy. You're calm, cool, collected. Like, you know, when you leave somebody's life, you leave in peace. You don't cause drama. You don't cause chaos. Okay, you come, like, you leave with peace. And this is what makes an imprint on people's heart, is the way that you leave, the way that you exit a situation with grace. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, you're definitely solid. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like you are somebody who is able to manifest things with ease, or you're also somebody who is very stable when it comes to your finances. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, you're very lucky. And we also have Sagittarius energy, which is ruled by Jupiter, and the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter energy. So you're extremely lucky. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, like how you're able to bounce back from obstacles and challenges with ease. And you're so graceful. That's one thing that I'm getting. People, when they mention your name, it's like how graceful you are in every situation that you encounter. You always, like, you're always level-headed, and you never let, like, your emotions get the best of you. You keep it like a composure, and then you just handle the situation the way that it's supposed to be handled. And that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. And we have the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, there's a lot of balance here. What comes to mind when people mention your name is that you are very generous with your time, your energy, and your resources. When you feel like the person that is asking you for help is respecting you. Okay, this is what I'm getting here. Yes, 9 of Cups. People see you, like, when it comes to mind, what comes to mind when people mention your name is that you get your wish fulfilled, or that you are wish fulfillment. You're highly desirable. And I'm getting, like, what comes to mind when people mention your name, that specific person is coming through and saying that you're selfish with the 9 of Cups. Because you get your wish fulfillment, and you don't want to, it's like you don't want to share your wish fulfillment, like your desires, your, like, things that the universe is giving you to with this person, and they get mad about that. It's like they want what you have. It's like that's that competition, that envy energy. For some of you, that could also be like a family member that is envious of your success, envious of your abundance. Okay, with the 9 of Cups, the 8 of Wands, because you're somebody who's adventurous, somebody who takes leaps of faith. Because we have the Fool card. This person could be very rigid in their approach to life. They don't like to take calculated risk. They're very pessimistic. I'm getting like a pessimistic energy from this person. Okay, everything is always gloomy. They're very cynical about everything in life. What comes to mind when people mention your name? Yes, 10 of Pentacles. I'm telling you that you're building some sort of abundance for yourself. You're financially stable. We also have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is definitely giving me that energy of you being independent. You see, they don't want me to talk. This person's trying to block my throat chakra. They don't want you to know that. This person cannot get you out. Like, they cannot stop talking about you. Like, this person's running your name through the mud because of the 3 of Swords, because you rejected them and you walked away, and they're heartbroken. Like, they're really heartbroken, but the thing is, they don't want to admit it to, wow, they don't want to admit it to themselves that they're heartbroken over you. They want to make it seem like they're over you, but like, if you're over the person, why you keep running your mouth? Like, you should have been over it and not even, you know, bring it up again. We have 10th house authority. So you may have Capricorn in your chart. And that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like, you're very discipline, structured. You have like, you know, a sense of duty. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. We have 8th house, mystery, Scorpio energy. So you may have Scorpio and Capricorn in your chart. So I'm getting like you're extremely mysterious. You keep to yourself. You're not all over, like you're not all up in the scene, okay? Like you do you with the 8th house. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like you're not seen everywhere with everyone doing everything, okay? Like you're just low key. Okay, yeah, we have Aries, act. You're action oriented, you're goal oriented. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like you're somebody who has like some sort of like I also heard mental agility. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. You're not afraid to put your foot down with the 7 of Wands, okay? Whenever something or someone is trying to overstep their boundaries with you, you're going to put your foot down and you're going to let them know that this is not going to happen in my life. You're not going to behave like this, or you're not going to say these things or do these things and then expect me to just be okay with it. This is what I'm getting here. And that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like you have healthy, yeah, balance. We have Libra and Aries, opposite signs. So definitely you may have Libra and Aries in your chart. So you may have like Aries moon, Libra sun, or vice versa. You could also have Scorpio or Capricorn like somewhere in your chart. Okay, so that energy is amplified. Some of you, I'm getting like you may have like your Capricorn in Saturn and then Scorpio and Pluto. Okay, so like whenever you have that, that's like a comfortable energy because it's those elements, those planets and the signs are in their home. Okay, so this is what I'm getting here. So you may have that in your chart, so that allows you to be more of a grounded individual, more balanced, like you're able to like tackle obstacles, especially if you have like, you know, Saturn in Capricorn. So like, you know, you're able to endure a lot of like hardship in life because obviously Saturn is, you know, the planet of like lessons, harsh lessons, and like the father, okay, like building your character. So you have a lot of character. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. You have stamina, you're powerful. Definitely with Aries, Capricorn energy and Scorpio, that's like powerful energy here. Okay, so this is what I'm getting here. And with the Libran energy, that gives you like that balance where you're not too rigid. Okay, like you're able to go with the flow. That's air and air element. So this is what I'm getting here, and that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like you have a really good balance of like all the elements in your chart. They may not say those exact words, but they could tell that you are a well-rounded individual. Like you're able to tackle life's obstacles, you're able to bounce back from adversity, you're able to keep calm when you are under pressure, you're able to build things for yourself, you are extremely independent, and that one person that is still stuck on you is upset with the fact that you don't want to deal with them anymore, and you're actually moving on and you're putting your foot down with the 7 of Wands. You're definitely putting your foot down. This person doesn't feel comfortable with that. That's why they keep running their mouth. Okay, so that's all I have for you, my pal number 2. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in my next video, pal number 2. Bye. Hi pal 3, welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot, back at you again with another video. So my pal number 3, you picked the amethyst crystal, and this is going to be your reading, okay? So if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back. And if you are a newbie, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way I like to do this is like to smudge the cards first before we get started, so we don't pick up the energy of previous pal or previous readings, okay? So my pal number 3, what comes to mind when people mention your name? Ooh, we have the Empress. You're glow up. You're shining bright, shining from within. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, how you've blown up. Like you're unrecognizable, my pal number 3. People are shook by your level up in your life. Okay? comes to mind when people mention your name? Wow, we have the King of Pentacles. How you are very successful, you are financially abundant, you are reliable, you're trustworthy. Okay, we have the Strength card, Leo energy, that you're powerful, you're courageous. I feel like you've done something that many people underestimated you. They didn't think that you had it in you, that you were going to make it. And that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like you've overcame something, or you've done some sort of major transformation. And I feel like it's something to do with your looks. Okay, like your looks, like maybe you lost a lot of weight, or you gained the weight in the right places, something like that. Like you've done some sort of major transformation that people don't recognize you anymore. It could also be like a transformation where you changed your attire, like you wear different clothes, you're more, maybe you are like, if you're a woman, you're more feminine, if you're a man, you're more masculine. There's something more like appealing about you, about your looks, about your physique as well, because the King of Pentacles is somebody who is physically fit, somebody who is looks very healthy as well. Okay, and we have the Strength card, so there's something about you that is very strong, that is very magnetic and influential. Yes, High Priestess. Okay, what comes to mind when people mention your name is that you are very like a divine. I'm getting highly intuitive, like the Empress and the High Priestess is like a very divine energy. And that's what comes to mind when people mention your name, like how you're so spiritual. Maybe they talk about maybe the fact that you are no longer religious, maybe you're into spirituality now. Yeah, we have the Queen of Cups, like you're emotionally mature. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like you're very perceptive. What comes to mind? Wow, Ace of Pentacles. People speak highly of you, my pal number 3. With all these energies coming through right now, people speak very highly of you. With the Ace of Pentacles, they definitely talk about you and say that you are a great catch when they bring up your name. They always say, oh my gosh, my pal number 3 is doing amazing financially. Like they are a great partner to invest with or to build something with. Okay, this is what I'm getting here. What comes to mind when people mention your name? We have the Six of Wands. They talk about how you're victorious, how you are abundant, how you're doing well for yourself, how you're getting public recognition. Some of you could be influencers here with the Six of Wands and the Empress and the High Priestess. You may have some sort of social media platform where you get to share your story, you get to share your life, you get to share your skills, your talent with your audience, and you're getting a lot of public recognition for this, like accolades. This is what I'm getting here. We also have the Hermit. Okay, what comes to mind when people mention your name is that you always keep to yourself. You're always like, you know, in your own little world. Like you definitely have some sort of like routine or discipline that you're doing with the Hermit card. Okay, and that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. You also went hermit mode. You may have ghosted a lot of people from your past, and now that you are resurfacing, some of you are resurfacing, and the people from your past are noticing like a big change in your looks, a big change in your mindset, a big change in like how you conduct yourself. And that's what comes to mind when people mention your name, like how you changed and you did it on your own with the Hermit card, like how you went within and you did the shadow work. Like maybe like there was something in the past that you struggled with, like, you know, maybe a bad habit or an impulsive trait that you had to work really hard on, and you have gotten better. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, how you transform yourself from within and you did it on your own without the support or the help of others. Yeah, we have the Ten of Pentacles. People are definitely talking about your abundance. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. And also the fact that you overcame some sort of obstacle or challenge here with the Ten of Wands. Like you let go of a burden that it was no longer serving you, something that you were carrying. It could have been like a chip on your shoulders as well with the Ten of Wands that you had to release. And that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like you've released that. Like, you know, maybe people used to make you fun of you for something that now you are embracing. It could have been like something minor, Okay, it could have been like, maybe you have a birthmark on your face. I don't know why I'm getting that. Maybe you have a birthmark on your face and people used to make fun of you. It used to make you feel some type of way about it. Like, and now you are embracing it. Now you are, rocking it. And then you're also maybe setting the tone for other people that may have a birthmark on their face and like feel inferior or insecure about it. Like you're actually helping these people. That's what I'm getting here. It doesn't have to be a birthmark, guys, but that's what I got. I'm getting like a message that maybe some of you have a birthmark on your face that makes you feel some type of way, like maybe back then when you were younger, but now you're embracing it. You're confident in your skin and you're showing other people who have similar birthmark or maybe just a birthmark on their face that makes them feel insecure. You are like basically the advocate for these people, and that's what comes to mind when people mention your name, like how you overcame that. Yeah, 3 of Wands, like you took action towards it. Like you're definitely an action oriented person. You're not somebody who's gonna stay around, like like that's what I'm getting here. There could be like distraction as well, because I just got distracted by a message. Wow, guys, Empress again. Guys, you're definitely coming up as the Empress twice. Powerful energy. You may have a Libra or Taurus in your chart, but that's what comes to mind. Like you definitely have that beautiful Venusian energy where you're just like you're basking in your feminine energy. Regardless if you are a woman or a man, you're able to attract things to you easily, and that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like they feel like your life is so peaceful, so beautiful. Yeah, I just saw the Magician. It wanted to come out. Okay, so what comes to mind when people mention, oh my gosh, I flipped the card again and it came out. Yes, you're a master manifester. Okay, you're very skilled and talented at what you do. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Holy moly, somebody doesn't want me to talk. What comes to mind when people mention your name? That's too many cards. Just one, please. What comes to mind? Thank you. We have the Knight of Swords, that you're very quick on your feet. You're very like highly intelligent. You could be cutting with your words as well. This is what I'm getting to. Some people may say that about you. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Like you're cutthroat, you no BS, no nonsense. You tell it like it is. And sometimes some people, they don't have like I was gonna say the guts, but it's not the guts. It's just like they don't have like it's like they don't like to hear the truth. They rather live in their delusions, and when you like, it's like you shatter their illusion, and that puts them like, you see somebody doesn't want to talk, that puts them in a way where they feel like some type of way about like you voicing yourself. Like, it's like you set people straight with the Knight of Swords, and that's what comes to mind when people mention your name and they don't feel comfortable. Some people don't feel comfortable in your energy because of that, because they don't want to be called out. We have the 3 of Cups. Yeah, amicable, very friendly, open-minded, welcoming. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, because you are like, you're not somebody who's rude or like nasty towards people, or like talk-ish. No, like yes, the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords will speak his mind. The Knight of Swords is quick on his feet. The Knight of Swords also sees things that most people miss, because he's analyzing every little thing. And like sometimes people don't like to be analyzed because they are scared of like what the people are gonna see, their flaws. They don't want to be, I'm getting like scrutinized as well. I don't feel like you're scrutinizing people, but like if you notice a pattern in someone, you're gonna call it out. And I feel like some people, they don't like that. They may gaslight you or make you feel like something is wrong with you when really it's them. That's what I'm getting here. And some people, that when they mention your name, they don't like that. They feel like, you could tell like they're uncomfortable just hearing the sound of your name. It's like it makes them feel some type of way, because they know like you may have called them out previously, and that's why they don't like to talk about you or bring you up. We have the 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, what comes to mind when people mention your name is that you are somebody who is a eligible bachelor or bachelorette. You live a life of luxury, and it makes sense because we have the Empress twice. The Empress lives a life of luxury, and life of luxury does not always have to be material gain, which yes, it is part of like luxury, but it could also be abundance in love, abundance in health, because that is luxury. You could have all the money in the world, but if you're sick, what is that money good for? You can't really enjoy it if you're sick. So that is also part of luxury, a part of abundance. And that's what comes to mind when people mention your name. And also with the Hierophant being here, Taurus energy, is that You are definitely a wise counselor. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Very traditional, well kept. I don't know why I heard that, well kept. So we have 8 of Pentacles, very skilled and talented. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Very skilled and talented. I don't know why I heard Master Mason. Guys, that's what I heard, okay? Maybe it's resonating with some of you, but that's what I heard. We have the Ace of Swords, a truth teller. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, that you're a truth teller, you're a truth speaker. And that makes sense because that's what I got with the Knight of Swords. There could be somebody who doesn't like that. The fact that you speak your truth and you're honest. It could be like just hurtful for this person because like I said, yeah, didn't I say, guys, debilitated, discomfort. I'm telling you. They're uncomfortable. There is somebody coming through in this reading that is uncomfortable with your truth. They're uncomfortable with your presence, and they're uncomfortable when people mention your name. When people bring you up, this person could be shaking in their boots because of the fact that you call them out about something. Okay, this is what I'm getting here, and this person does not like that. They don't like to be called out. They like to live in their delusion, and you're not a delusional person. Well, like if you want to manifest things, you may have to be delusional at times, but that's not the context of this, like the reading right now. It's more about being delusional about, like, you know, maybe the person's like reality, what's going on in their life, like not seeing that there's something that they're doing is wrong and that they need to change. That's the delusion I'm talking about. And there could be somebody who's defensive when they bring up your name. They're uncomfortable. We have Taurus, cultivate. And we have Taurus like 4 times because we have the Empress twice, we have the Hierophant, and now we have Taurus. So heavy Taurus energy. So you are, what comes to mind when people mention your name is that you are somebody who is very cultured, somebody who is abundant, because Taurus rules the 2nd house, resources. So you have a lot of resources. You were able to build things from scratch and you were able to maintain it even if it took you a long time. It's like you grew over time and not overnight. And that's what comes to mind when people mention your name, is that you are somebody who has a lot of patience as well. What comes to mind when people mention your name, my pile number 3? What comes to mind? Yeah, we have Mercury, messages, and it makes sense because we have the Knight of Swords and we have the Ace of Swords. So Mercury, Gemini, Virgo energy. So you may have Gemini or Virgo in your chart, but there is something to do with your communication. And we also have the Magician, which is Gemini, Virgo energy, because the Magician is Mercury energy. So we have double Gemini and Virgo here. So there's something to do with your communication, the way that you speak. And we also have the Hermit, so Virgo energy 3 times. So there is something with your stability as well, because we have 2 earth sign heavy in this reading. So there's something about your stability, your abundance, your structure that comes to mind when people mention your name. Like you're a solid individual, you're dependable, you're trustworthy here. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name. Yeah, you're very powerful with the Mars energy, fiery, okay? And Gemini came out too, so you definitely could have Gemini in your chart. But yeah, like you're definitely fiery here with the Mars. You may have Scorpio or Aries in your chart, but there's something very powerful, like your will, like you have unshakable will. That's what comes to mind when people mention your name, like you're very strong-minded. You are courageous, because we also have the strength here. So your inner strength is unshakable. It's unmatched. And people definitely mention that when they bring up your name. That's what they mention, like how your will is unshakable, how like people are just shook by what you were able to accomplish in a short period of time as well. For some of you, it may, like for the people, it may seem like a short period of time because they only seen like the outcome of all the efforts that you put in behind closed doors. They're only seeing the outcome. They're not seeing like the work, the hard work, the sweat, the tears that you've put in to, you know, building what you currently have. But that's what comes to mind when people mention your name, like how strong you are, how powerful you are. Okay, so that's all I have for you, my pal number 3. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in my next video, pal number 3. Bye.